called it. It's like you go to an event, you get into an event, and you've traveled 18 hours with your spouse, and you fall the whole way in the car because you're not where you want to be. You're not where you want to be, and you're frustrated. You're not mad at them. They were hurt. You're just mad because you're not where you want to be. And you argued all the way to the event, and you get to the event, and you go up to check in, and Brittany's there welcoming you to the event, and you have a big smile on your face when Brittany comes up, and Brittany goes, "How are you doing?" You're going, "We're great." And you thought, and I thought, "It was great." And you fall the whole way. And yet Brittany goes, "Well, I'm so glad you're here. We are too." And you get up to your room and you say, "Yeah, Brittany just went Triple Crown. We didn't go Triple Crown. You promised me if we come back to another event, we can be Triple Crown. And I'm going back with you another year, another event. We're not Triple Crown." Y'all ever done that stuff? My goodness, you're normal. You're so normal. It's okay. This is what happens with men and women that are passionate about accomplishing something. But I'm going to go sit down with you at Panera Bread. I'm going to come up to your house. If I was able, if I had my spouse and we were going to go meet you at your house, what's going to happen though is you're going to come home and we're supposed to meet at 7 o'clock and you're going to get home at 6:30 and you're tired, you had a hard day, and your wife, your husband say, "Hey, we're supposed to go to Bill and Sally's house tonight, or we're going over to Fred's house tonight." And you're saying, "Okay, I can't." "What do you mean you can't?" "There's this guy coming over with his wife, and they're talking to us about something." "What do you mean there's this guy coming over tonight? You never told me about a guy coming over tonight talking about something." "I know, I forgot." "Well, call them. Call them and tell them they can't come." "I will." "I can't." "Why not?" "I don't have their card." Right here, they're going to roll the back of my card and I'll call you when I get you. "Why do you think I take my card back?" "As a professional, I hand you my card. But I want my card back. Because people cancel. I don't know how many times I've gone up to see people and they go, "You know, I was going to cancel. I tried to cancel. I realized I don't have your card." Really? Well, let's just sit down and talk. So you sit down. You ever sit in the living room? Nobody sits in their own living room. Still. Sit down in the family. Sit down in the kitchen counter. Just sit down and be comfortable. You know, sit down at Panera Bread. Meet them at Panera Bread. And this is all you say. You sit there and you say, "Listen, you know, I'm going to talk to you about a business." "Yeah, I do. You mentioned it." "Okay, look, I can save you a lot of time. Let me just ask you a couple questions and I'll get right to the point. Don't you think they're going, 'That's awesome. That's great. 2 questions and you're going to get right to the point?' Yeah, let me just ask you a couple questions. I get right to the point." Okay. Nobody ever says no. Nobody in 32 years has ever told me no to that. "Hey, listen, if I can ask you a couple of questions, I can get right to the point." "Great, go ahead. That's right. I can answer 2 questions. Great. Obviously, I'm going to show you a business. So hypothetically, make a leap with me. If what I'm getting ready to show you actually worked, are you looking for a part-time income, a supplemental income, or something more significant? Not overnight, but over time. Master that question. Listen, obviously I'm going to show you a business, but let me ask you the first question. Just hypothetically, make a leap with me. If what I show you works, are you looking for, I don't know, a supplemental source of income, a primary source of income, or something more significant? Not overnight, but over time. Because there's no such thing as getting wealthy fast, right? So I say not overnight, but over time. And whatever they say is the right answer. They may say, supplemental good. If they say supplemental, you don't say, "That's it. That's it. I drove 15 miles. And you want to supplement." Don't do that. That's what they want. When you learn how to help people get what they want, you'll never want for anything in your life. Supplemental, primary, something more significant than that. Not overnight, but over time. I don't know. Primary would be good. Really? Why? What are you looking to do? Really? Why? What are you looking to do? Really? Why? What are you looking to do? It's the one line. Learn the one-liner. I'm telling you, if you'll do this. Really? Why? What are you looking to do? Well, I mean, really, if it worked, I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know what you're going to talk to me about. But if it actually worked, primary, I quit my job. Really? What do you do? teacher. No kidding, how long have you been a teacher? 20 years. Well, why would you want to quit your job? Because it's not like it was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I could hug my children. 20 years ago, I could teach my children. 20 years later, I can't touch my children, and I'm teaching them a test. All I do is spend time teaching. My wife was an educator, y'all. I know what she went through. Education changed for her. The passion about it changed for her because it wasn't what it was. She wasn't teaching these young minds at this day. She was teaching them a test. So the person said, what would you do? I quit my job. Well, what do you do? I'm a teacher. Teacher? No, what do you teach? Well, I teach third grade. Oh my goodness, that's the coolest grade in the world to teach. Yeah, it is. It's wonderful. They're not old enough to tell you no, and they'll call their mom. They're this age where they're like, yeah, what do I need to do? It's great. Well, why would you want to quit? Well, because it's not the same as it was when I started. Well, what got you interested in teaching anyway? A teacher. My third grade teacher. I'll never forget my third grade teacher, Mrs. Johnson. She was wonderful. Oh, no kidding, Mrs. Johnson. Is that why you teach the third grade? Yeah, it's just something I saw, I felt, and I decided, that's wonderful. I'm so sorry to hear that's what's happened to teachers. But that's wonderful. What else would you do? What? I mean, seriously, over time, not interested in moving? No, we love the neighborhood. I don't want to move, but I'd like to be out of the debt. What is it? Just over. You know what it's like. Well, it's just any debt. It's just acknowledge that over and over again. You're trying to get rid of it. 30 years, it seems like you're going to be dead for you. Yeah, I understand that. Nice neighborhood, yeah. A lot of teachers live around here. Oh, yeah, a lot of my friends live here. Police officers, great. It's a great neighborhood. What am I doing? All I'm doing is talking to them. What else would you do? I don't know. I take my kids to Disney World. We've always talked about going to Disney World. Never been able to go. Why? Just money? No, just money, time, and just never been able to put it together to go. There's always something that comes up. A school event or something that comes up, and we just can't go. Disney World would be cool. Have you personally ever been? No, I've never been, but I've seen it on brochures and everything. It just looks like a lot of fun. That's awesome. It is great. You'll love it. Go to the parade at night. You're going to love all this stuff. It's great. All right, let me ask you the second question. The first question, if this works for you, hypothetically, make a leap with me. Would you be interested in making supplemental income, primary income, or something more significant? Not overnight, but over time. Well, primary income. Oh, great. What would you do? Cool, great. What would you do? Cool, great. What would you do? And then find out what they would do. Do you know how? Do you know that if you can identify why everything else works out, if you can find out why someone, you don't say this, Lisa, what are your dreams? What are your hopes? What are your ambitions? How do you say that to a stranger? What are your dreams? What are your hopes? What are your, you don't do that. You say, hi Mary, oh cool, why? What are you going to do? And then let them tell you, and then ask questions based on what they tell you. Now let me ask you the second question. Now I've asked a whole bunch of questions, but I have two primary bookend questions. The second question is this. Hypothetically, Lisa, if what I'm getting ready to show you got you out of your job, paid your house off, and got your kids to Disney World, would you make time available in an already busy schedule to get that? You hear me? If, hypothetically, if what I'm getting ready to show got you out of whatever they said, repeat it back to them. Think of the power of this. They think it, they say it, as they say it, they hear it, and when you repeat it back to them, they hear it again. It's the repetitive nature of the thing. So the second question is this. If what I'm getting ready to show you actually got you out of your job, hypothetically, just make it, got you out of your job, it got you to Disney World with your kids, they paid off your house, would you be willing to make time available in our busy schedule to get that? To get that. Not to get this thing we haven't discussed, but to get that. Be specific. And if they say, probably not, oh, all right, cool. So let me just tell you about my products. If you know anyone that drinks coffee or something. You know anyone who wants to lose weight. You know anyone that needs extra energy. Whatever it is. See if you can make them a customer and then be on your way. It doesn't matter. Then be on your way. See if you can make them a customer. If they say, well, of course I make time available if I can do that. Now you've got somebody that has identified themselves. And then explain your business to them. You've got literature. You've got something you can leave behind. Right? You've got a video they can watch. You go through this and you show them what you're doing. You explain. How many times taught you to explain the business to the business part of this? One of the best products you have happens to be your business because it introduces all the products to somebody. All the products, not a product, all the products. It introduces somebody as a way to make more money. It introduces somebody as a way to develop more security, develop more time. All you say, when you're done, when you've explained it the way you're up, my talk, say, listen, I've got some information I want to leave with you. I want to come back and answer a couple of questions. Let's see, today's Monday. When did I come back? Let's see, Wednesday or Thursday, what works best for you? Wednesday or Thursday, what works best for you? 24 to 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours. What works best for you? Not, can we get back together? Because I just showed you how to quit your job, how to take your kids to Disney World, how to pay off your house. My assumption is you're interested. Not that you're going to say yes, but you're interested because you listen. I've got some information I want to leave behind with you. Listen, here's what I want you. I want you to go watch this video. Pull up the link. Give them whatever they need. Give them the lecture. I'm going to come back. Let's see, Wednesday or Thursday works better. Great. 7 or 8, 6 or 5, 3 or 2, whatever it is. Give them a choice. But always give them a choice on your schedule. Tuesday or Wednesday, 7 or 8, 3 or 6. Great. Great. Okay. And you give them the information. Now, here's what you do. 24, 48 hours later, whenever you have the appointment. Now, this is going to sound goofy, but do it. Before I go back to Lisa's house, before I meet Lisa at Panera Bread, before I meet Lisa wherever, I go by a travel agency. I have been by more travel agencies in the last 32 years picking up brochures of Disney World. And I get a brochure of Disney World. And I carry it in to Lisa and Bob, or Mary and Sally, and whatever. I carry it to their house. And I walk in with a brochure, and when you come, you meet me at Panera. I walk in, you're sitting at the booth at Panera Bread. And I walk in the booth at Panera Bread. I say, listen, before we even start, I got something for you today. Before we even start, I got something for you today. How many people have walked up to them today and said, hey, I've got something for you today? Nobody. You. I went by a travel agency and I cut you this brochure. I started to open up a brochure of Disney. I say, my goodness, promise me, when you go, take me with you. It's incredible. And I give you the brochure. Instantly, I give you the brochure. Why? It instantly takes you back to what you said. When you take your kids, man, take me. It looks like a blast. I don't care if Lisa does this business with me. I don't care if Lisa gets in the habit of it. It's okay if she doesn't. But Lisa will have that brochure in front of her, and one day, Lisa may have enough. So I'm going to take my kids to Disney World. Because you took the time out of your day to get it. I'm telling you right now, if you will bless other people in your lives, you have no idea how blessed you will be. If you will show goodwill to other people, you can't fathom the depth of the goodwill that will be shown to you. The blessings that you'll receive. Not, oh, get my business byproducts from me so I can make money. But let me help you take your kids to Disney World. And if she says, no, it's okay. It's okay. Because Lisa may hold on to that brochure, bring it home, show the kids, Mom, we've got to do this. And one day she may say, I need to call that guy back, or I need to call Carol back. Or she may say, I got to do something, work double shifts, whatever I got to do, I got to take that. And she will be blessed for doing it. And so, that's how I start. That's exactly how I start. Then I say this, listen, I know you got to have questions. I know you got, if I had a video for him to watch, all I say is, the video, it was awesome, wasn't it? Brittany hit the nail on the head when she said, what was your favorite part? What did you like the best? I start off by saying, that was awesome, wasn't it? I smile. Why? That was awesome, wasn't it? It's odd when you smile and you go, that was awesome there, wasn't it? It's amazing how many people go, yeah, it was pretty good. But if you go to, wow, okay, so I have to tell you a quick story. There's an interlude just for a moment with the phone that rang. Don't feel bad. I don't want you to feel guilty. I want to tell you a story as an interlude. I was giving a speech one day. It was this huge insurance company, and I was one of the keynote speakers. I was talking about leadership. The other guy that there was Dr. Henry Kissinger, and he was talking about Kosovo relations. I don't know what Kosovo relations are, but he was talking about Kosovo relations. and it was me and Henry Kissinger, and I spoke, and I'm done, and I'm sitting next to the CEO of this insurance company, and Kissinger, if you've ever heard his voice, he speaks slowly, deeply, with a heavy accent, right? And I'm sitting there, and I'm listening, and all of a sudden somebody's phone rang. And Dr. Kissinger stopped talking, and he started looking around the room for the person whose phone rang. So what do you think we all did? We started looking around the room for the person whose phone rang. And then it hit me. It was my phone. Right? Have y'all ever started to sweat instantly? I carried a black bag forever, and it was in my black bag, it was against the wall, so it was muffled, so you could hear it, but you couldn't hear where it was coming from. And when it hit me, it was my phone, I was drenched in sweat. And I looked over to see, I go, that was so rude. So if your phone rings when I'm doing something, I don't care. It's quite all right. I know what it feels like. Okay, so listen. So I say at least, that was awesome, wasn't it? Because what happens if I say, what do you think? Lisa says, it was all right. It was all right. Even if she was, it was all right. If I say that was awesome, wasn't it? She'll go, it was pretty good. But the difference in what she hears is dramatic. It was all right. Yeah, it was pretty good. Even the tone of her voice is different. It was all right. Yeah, it was pretty good. It's the tone, it's the lip that makes it different. Well, I'll tell you what, I know you got to ask some questions. So, what can I answer for you? How do you share the products with people? How do you build a names list? How do you create enough income to take your kids to Disney World? What do you want to know? But you know what I asked? I asked the dream and the getting started questions. I'm sure you got to have questions, but what can I answer for you? How do you build a list of names of people? How do you call people? How do you follow up with people? What do you want to know? And then this is what Lisa's going to say. Well, I thought about it, and I got to be honest with you. I talked to my husband about it, and I just don't think we have time. Lisa, let me ask you a question. A couple nights ago, we were talking, and I said, if this worked for you, and you said you wanted a primary source of income, and you said that you could quit your job, you take your kids to Disney World and pay off your house. And then I said to you, would you be willing to make time available on an already busy schedule to get that? You said, of course I would. Just out of curiosity, what changed? And then I am quiet. Polite and quiet. And it will be in the beginning of doing this the most uncomfortable silence you'll ever do. Quiet. What changed? Oh, yeah, it's not time. Yeah, you're right, I did say that. It's really not time. It's just, I don't know. I don't know that it's my personality. Y'all heard that? I just don't know it's my personality. Gosh, I understand that. You remember 2 nights ago when we were sitting down, I was talking about being a teacher. You said you loved it in the beginning, but it's not you anymore. That you can't teach anymore. And it sounds like that's not your personality either, but you're going to do it tomorrow. So let me ask you a question. When you told me that you wanted to spend more time with your kids and take them to Disney World, you wanted to pay your house, and you wanted to put you were serious, right? You meant it. I mean, I know you did, right? Of course I did. When I asked you if you were willing to make time available in a busy schedule, you meant that. Yeah, I did. So what you're worried about is this your personality. Yeah, that's really, yeah. Can I be honest with you? It doesn't have to be your personality. Because you're already doing something you've already told me about your personality. Don't worry about that. The funny thing is, it's my personality. And I'm the one who's going to help you. So if I can help you quit your job early, pay off your house, and take your kids to Disney World, will you make enough time in your schedule to give me to help you get that with my personality? Yes. Do you understand? Once you ask those two questions, oh, yeah, Bo, this sounds good, but what do you, I could throw out 10 of them. Is it really 10 of them? It sounds good, I know, but. I mean, what do you hear? What do you hear? But I have kids. Gosh, I appreciate that. Let me ask you a question. A couple nights ago, when we were first sitting down talking about this, you told me that you wanted to be able to quit your job. And I assume part of that isn't just to quit your job, it's to spend more time with kids. Is that fair to say? You told me that you wanted to take them to Disney World, and you haven't been able to do that. So obviously that has a lot to do with your children. Paying off your house, you wouldn't have the stress, you wouldn't have anything associated with that. Because you have kids, And most importantly, he says you make time available if I can help you spend time with your kids and pay off your house and do the things that are important to you. Do you want to spend time with your kids? Let me help you do this. Let me help you do this. Matter of fact, let me show you how simple this is. Who do you know named Mary or Sally or Tom or Joe? Let me show you how to do it. Don't worry about doing it. Let me show you how to do it. This sounds good, but my husband's not on board. Let me tell you something before I did. For those of you whose spouses aren't on board, your husband or your wife, and when I say this, I'm assuming, when I say if, I'm assuming the answer is of course they love you. Of course they love you. So if they love you, how you handle it matters with that. What you do is you go to the person that loves you, who's not on board with this, and you say, listen, Bob, I know you love me. And I know how much I mean to you. And I know you're not on board with this. But I have to tell you, Bob, it's hard to do. I know, that's why I tell you to quit. No, you're not understanding me. You're not understanding me. It's hard to do. The only place I can come and feel safe is with you. And I'm asking you, even if you're not on board with this, do me one favor because you love me. When I come to you and I say I'm upset, or I'm hurt, or I'm scared, wrap your arms around me and say, honey, you can do it. If anybody in the world can do it, you can do it. And I'm proud of you. Bob, please be that person for me. Don't be afraid to say that. Because if your spouse loves you, a lot of times they're not on board because they're sick and tired of watching you hurt. They don't want to see you hurt anymore. But what they don't understand is it's not hurt for hurt's sake, it's hurt for growth's sake. It's this growth you're going through. It's this metamorphosis of your best and higher self that you're going through to do this. So my spouse isn't on board. That's awesome. Let me ask you a question. You remember 2 nights ago when we sat down and I asked you, would you want to, you said a primary source of income. I asked you why. You said you'd love to quit your job. You'd love to pay off your house. By the way, would your husband like it if you were able to pay off your house? Would he be on board with that? No, I'm playing the home game. Okay, my husband would be on board with that, of course. When we talk about taking your family to Disney World, do you think your husband would be on board with that, with knowing he didn't have to worry about financially and everything was okay? Okay. If he doesn't have to pay, that's awesome. I'll tell you what. You also said, most importantly, you're willing to make time available in an already busy schedule to get that. You meant it, right? You did do that. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let me tell you the fastest way to get your husband on board. Let's make enough money to pay off your house and take your kids to Disney. Okay? And let me ask you a question, just out of curiosity. When you go to work every day, when you teach, do you take your husband with you or does he have another job that he does? So he doesn't jump in the back of the car to go to work. I mean, you get the joke, right, Mary? Right, Sally? You get the joke. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so he's not on board with you at your job. He do your job, but it's not like, hey, let's go teach today. What I want to do is show you how to get him on board. And how to get him on board. So let's go get some quick results. Who do you know named Mary or Sally or Tony? Let me show you how to do this. This sounds good, but just a few more. This sounds good, but
Too expensive.
it's too expensive. Gosh, I appreciate that. Let me ask you specifically, when you say it's too expensive, you mean the starter package getting started, or do you mean the products?
Both.
Okay, both of them. Okay, well, I appreciate that too. Let me ask you a question though. The other day when we sat down and talked, you told me that you wanted to spend more time with your kids, take them to Disney World, pay off your house, and quit teaching. You meant that, right?
Sure.
Okay, well, just out of curiosity, the reason you don't go to Disney World is what?
Too expensive.
Can't afford it. So that's too expensive. I have a question for you. No, wait, let me ask you this one. You said you'd make time available if I could help you take your kids to Disney World, right? Okay, you meant that, didn't you? Great. Okay. Right now, that's too expensive. But if I could show you how you can do that from money you can earn in this business, when taking your kids to Disney World, take on a whole different flavor in your life. Let me tell you something. What you see is too expensive. I'm going to tell you not taking your kids to Disney World is too expensive. What you see is getting up every day and doing a job you told me you already don't like anymore. I think that's too expensive. When you talk about paying a mortgage payment repetitively over and over again and seeing no end in sight, I think that's too expensive. When you tell me you can't do these things because they're too expensive, I guess what I'm asking you is I'm telling you that in a handful of hours a week, I can teach you how those aren't too expensive. Would you make time with me for me to show you that? And if I'm wrong, quit. But if I'm right, it won't be too expensive anymore. Have a garage sale. You need $250, let's have a garage sale. You got anything in your basement? Do you know how many garage sales I've sat with?
Yeah.
In your basement, we'll find $250. Let's go to your basement, we'll find $500. And if you think the products are too expensive, let me ask you one question. How does free sound? Well, what do you mean? How does free sound? If I could show you, excuse me, thank you very much. There you go. How does free sound? What do you mean free? If I could show you how to get your products for free, how does that sound? Well, how can you do that? I'm going to show you how to make some money that pays for all the products so they're basically free. And then the last thing you'll say, next time somebody says, what's too expensive? You go, I know that's what I thought. But I get them for free. How do you get them for free? I make more money than I spend. And I'm taking my kids to Disney World next summer. Sounds good, but. It sounds good, but it's one of those things. Remember, when you're new, it's always a thing. When you're new, it's always a thing. When you make money, it's a business. That's how people see it. All my friends said, you doing that thing? Until I make money, they go, Bo's got a big business. This is how people are. So keep it simple. You're doing one of those things. What thing? Yeah, I know. What thing? Oh, pyramid scheme. I mean, and just so I understand what you're trying to say, because it's really important that we're saying the same thing. You mean where you get at something, the guy at the top makes all the money, and then everybody else is paying for the guy at the top to make all the money? Something like I get it. Do you know what a pyramid actually is and what it's not? I mean, as far as the Federal Trade Commission is concerned, you know what it is and it's not. If I'm working, people above me are making all that money, it just doesn't seem right. I understand that. Here's what's kind of cool, just out of curiosity. Because I would be one of those people. Because I'm the one that's looking to help you do this. But Sean, just out of curiosity, 2 days ago when I sat down with you, I asked you, if this worked for you, why would you do it? And you said, I want to quit my job, I want to pay off my house and take my kids to Disney World. You meant that, right? I also said to you, I said, would you make time available in the busy schedule to do that? You meant that, right? Here's the cool part. I'm going to work for you, Sean. You're not working for me. You're not doing something so I can make money. I'm going to spend more money helping you make money than you're going to work to help me make money. Because if I help you make money, I make a little bit more. Does that bother you if I make a little bit of money if I can help you quit your job, take your kids to Disney World, and pay off your house? You wouldn't be upset with me if I made just a little bit of money for helping you do that. Okay, who do you know named Mark or Tom or Sal? Let me show you how it works. And by the way, let me say this to you, Sean. And please listen to me. If you do this and you think they're working for you, don't get in business with me. Because I'm not going to help you. If you're willing to go help them get what they want, I'll help you get what you want. But if you see it that way, please don't do this with me. This is too important to me, for you and my family. Is that fair? Great, let's get started. It's really simple. It's really simple. Let's do this.